Yeah, that's perfect for this game, because this game can really make me chrono-triggered at times. Like, last night, that 40-minute long gauntlet of every boss in the game with no break, inability to pause, and then, like, spamming ads so much that it was overheating my computer. So we're not doing that today. I'm just trying to finish up a build here. I've got some other games planned if this makes me chrono-triggered. This grind is considerably more chill than what I was doing yesterday. But yeah, I would really like to see them, the devs, finish that on the hardest difficulty. I legit want to see them do it. It's like, even if it's possible, it's not fun. Spamming that many ads just ruins the boss fights. If you want me to fight all the bosses, then don't spam ads to the point where I can barely see my character and I'm stuck in hit stun constantly. Like, nothing about that is fun. They couldn't think of a way to make it hard. Like, let's just put, like, 30 ads on the screen, and then when you kill them, they just come back. It's like, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. This is stupid. Am I playing on Steam Deck? No. My Steam Deck is broken. Well, I guess handicapped. Physically handicapped is probably a better description. It works, but it's broken. I don't want to pay Valve like $200 to fix it. The R1 button is broken. Also, it's having a boot loop because of Decky. And I don't really want to take donations to get it fixed, because it's just so old at this point. I don't really think the Steam Deck has a lot more life in it at this point. Yeah, that challenge I did yesterday was, everything wrong with this game. It's not fun. So, I'm just doing chill farming tonight. Trying to cook some builds and play some other games later. My birthday trip effectively just got canceled, so I'm not in the best mood, so anything that's going to make me mauled is, not on the table tonight. Anything with the chance of making me mauled is going to have very limited to no time on the stream tonight. I tried to just go pay for my train ticket, and like suddenly the price went up, and then also it's like an extra 2 hours of travel. So I'm thinking not going is wise. And that really sucks, but I hadn't paid for anything, so it could have been worse. The hotel also, on the day of my birthday, is jacking up the price like 4 times. So, I can't go on my birthday, and that's way too much to... That costs way too much to be asking my friends to help me with that. I really wanted to go. It's a milestone birthday for me, and I've obviously been through hell the last year. I wanted to go, but yeah, it just can't happen. Well, it could, but I'm not sure if I wanted to, that's the thing. Yeah, things have been pretty rough lately. A lot of shit out of my control. Yeah, but I needed to get out of here and see my friends, and now I can't. It's making me really depressed. Ugh! I don't want to do a puzzle! Shut up! You do it! Oh, you're gonna make me do a puzzle and no voice acting while I'm fighting things. Great fun! Fuck off with puzzles and beat-em-ups. Yeah, nice job. You do it yourself. Bitch-ass NPC, fuck off. No more puzzles. Let's put puzzles in a beat-em-up. And you have to pay attention to what he's saying because there's no voice acting. Now fight the enemies and then look at what he's saying because he can't afford voice acting. Come on, man! Oh my god. Why do they think shit like this is fun? I don't want to do this. Do it yourself. How many of these do I have to do? Can I just fight normally? Can't afford any voice acting. Like, no money to finish this game, or what? Why are you gonna make me do a puzzle when he doesn't talk? No more! Okay, we're done with these puzzles. Stop with the puzzles. Fucking kill this bitch. Fuck you. Shut up. Oh, of course, I need to do it again. This is a really long one. Do it yourself. Why can't you do it? I can't believe this. Do they play beat-em-ups? They know that people don't like doing stuff like this? How are you supposed to do this? Yes, let me solve this puzzle. I have to look at him instead of the enemies. can't get, like, their janitor to voice act this or something. What kind of a boneheaded puzzle is this? This is a really long one. Do it yourself, bitch! What the fuck do you want? Yeah, it's great fun kiting the enemies around and doing a dumb puzzle. Oh great, I'm getting killed because I'm stuck in the animation. Why do action game developers put shit like this in games? I'll never understand. Play these games to fight, not do, like, toddler puzzles. And the only thing that's hard about them is the shortcomings of the game. Not having voice acting. Or, like, not putting it at the bottom of the screen. So I can actually pay attention. This is so dumb. This useless-ass NPC doesn't get attacked by anybody. Why can't he do it? Seriously, get your janitor or the DoorDash driver to voice act if you're gonna put garbage like this in your beat-em-up. Better be a good reward for this. Yeah, what's the reward for doing that? Yeah, pay my rent for making me do that shit. What the hell was that, man? You can't even skip the talking. They don't even voice act it. Oh, and I still have to fight a boss after that, too. All my heals are gone because of the stupid puzzle. It's not even a hard puzzle, it's just like... serves no purpose. What's the purpose of this? Action game developers will do anything but let you fight enemies. I never understand it. What is the reward for doing this? Better be good. We need to make this puzzle that a toddler could do difficult, so we're gonna make the enemies bum rush you while you're trying to stare at an NPC who can't talk. Because we don't have any voice acting. Weird flex. It's not even like not having voice acting is not really a problem, but with a puzzle like that, it is. That's the problem. Why are you playing around your weaknesses, not your strengths? What the hell was that, man? What the hell was that? We need to make sure a toddler can solve this puzzle, but also make it incredibly tilting for an adult. Because you get juggled to death while you're waiting for the NPC slowly tell you what you need to press. Great design. It's like, have they not played like an arcade beat-em-up? They don't have that shit. I think it's time to just put this on easy. It's gonna make me do garbage like that. I'm gonna hard pass. If that NPC comes back, I'm going to not regret my decision. So make me do that again. Is this just a normal kill map, or is it gonna make me do some oddly difficult toddler puzzle because of the way the game is designed? Hot take. Oh, yeah, he's back. You're not done yet, are you? No. Yeah. You can't do this yourself for some reason. Why can't you do this yourself? Yeah, you do it yourself. Yeah, I'm glad I put this on easy. It's like a puzzle that a toddler could do, but the only thing that's hard about it is the game design. I don't really get who this puzzle's for. A first grader would have no problem with this. It's just getting bum rushed by the enemies while you're waiting for him to talk is the challenge. Then it's like, why have the puzzle at all? It's not challenging to anybody. Yeah, we're just keeping this on easy. Can't believe they have like 4 of these missions. It's like the new God of War has puzzles like this, right? That like a toddler could solve. But then like in that game it's different because they tell you the solution after you've looked at the puzzle for like 3 seconds. Like the NPCs just backseat you to the point where you don't even really get to try. And it's like, well then, why have the puzzle at all? Puzzles in action games are always like either cosmic brained or they're for toddlers like this, but there's always something about them that makes them frustrating. They'll often be like, the enemies keep respawning, or it's oddly difficult for the kind of game it is. It's like, just don't put puzzles at all. Like, I feel like I don't really expect action game developers to have compelling puzzles. I feel like if I want that, I would play a puzzle game. I mean, look at this puzzle. It's just aggravating for the wrong reasons. It's not hard to solve. It's just nothing about it is interesting. And the shortcomings of the game, like not putting it down at the bottom at least so you can actually pay attention to the enemies, is shit design. Yeah, you have to focus on him. And it's like the puzzle is not even hard. It's preschool level. I just don't feel you should be filtered by having to pay attention to what he's saying. Yeah, this guy needs to, like, spontaneously combust. This one's a little more complicated. Alright, then why don't you do it? Well, see, this wasn't in the original game, though. They added this after the online went away. Yeah, this is a lot less frustrating when I don't get killed in 2 hits because I'm on the hardest difficulty. Because they didn't design the hardest difficulty around the puzzle. Yeah, the God of War games got a lot of flack for doing stuff like this. Just like pointless puzzles. It's like, dude, if the game is going to insult your intelligence and the NPCs are going to spout the solution out after you've looked at it for all of like 3 seconds, then why have the puzzle at all? It doesn't serve a purpose at that point. If the puzzle's supposed to break up the action, then the puzzle's supposed to break up the action. Give you more than 3 seconds to solve it. Otherwise, don't put it in there at all. That's like the AAA game meme to a T right there. We need to break up the action so that the reviewers don't complain that the game is actually gameplay instead of talking and forced walking sections, but then the game needs to appeal to the lowest common denominator. So we need to tell you the solution, like, instantly. so you can't get stuck and return it to the store. It's so backwards. Like, then why is the puzzle there? They didn't tell me the solution. It's like a teacher telling you to cram for a test, and then, like, you don't solve a question in, like, 2 seconds, and they just give you the answer, and you, like, cram the whole time. You cram for, like, a week. You get to school, like, you seem to be having some trouble, we're just gonna tell you the solution. Like, what was the point of the test? Like, I'm not allowed to have any friction in this puzzle, then it should not be there. Apparently there's a mod for God of War that lets you, turn off the back seating. It's interesting, because, like, the Insomniac Spider-Man games just let you straight up skip the puzzles. You know, if you're not able to do them because of a disability, they just let you skip them. I think that's the better way to do it, to be honest. I think that's a better way to do it. You know, if physically or intellectually or mentally you can't do it, just let me skip it, instead of this, where it's, like, rudimentary and nothing about it is fun. It's just here to slow the game down. Yeah, but what's the purpose of that, though? Go cram for your finals, but when you get there, oh, you know, you seem to be struggling, so here's all the answers. That's basically what this game is doing. Yeah, we gotta do this same puzzle again for the 3rd time. This one's not too bad, then you do it yourself. Yeah, I think the way Insomniac handles stuff like this is better. Like, look, if you don't want to do it, or you can't do it for any reason, of which there are many, just skip it. You don't want to, or you're incapable of doing it for any reason, which there are many legit reasons why you couldn't do those puzzles. Just skip it. I think that should be the standard. Clearly I have enough intelligence to do this. I'm not, like, 0 IQ, but is it fun? No. I would 100% skip this if I could. Because I'm not enjoying myself. Doing this on Brutal is basically just like, in the animation of turning this on, you can get killed. So why would you do this on Brutal? There's no point. Animation lock. Need to wait for this bozo to talk again. Yeah, you do it yourself. Nah, you do it yourself, bro. They don't seem to hate you. They hate me. I seem to have no qualms with him. Why can't he do it himself? patched in an option. Yeah, I heard it only, like, reduced it, though. It didn't make it go away completely. The problem was also, it wasn't, like, a good hint system, where if you're clearly stuck, you can choose to get a hint. I mean, they would just tell you the solution, like, instantly, before it was humanly possible to solve it. We gotta stop appeasing journalists with stuff like that. Like, if you want to make an action game, then just make an action game. Look, I don't expect your combat designers to make, like, a puzzle on par with, like, a Sierra game from the 90s. You're just not going to be able to do that. So don't try. If this is the extent of the puzzle-making abilities that they have, then I think they should stick to their talents. Making it optional, or just making it so that you can skip it for any reason, and not having the game berate you for it, is better accessibility than what this is doing. Or it's like insulting your intelligence, but it's also hard for the wrong reasons. This is hard for the wrong reasons. It's mostly because if you try to do this on a harder difficulty, you get killed during the animation, and you have to do the whole thing again. So it's a very weird puzzle. Maybe they want to make you feel like you're dumb. It's like, you're not dumb, but the puzzle is not well designed. Okay, good track right here. Yeah, it just felt like game journalists complain if a game focused on one type of thing has an alternate type of gameplay, when anybody who actually plays those games will tell you, we just want what the game is good at, right? It's like if you put a Neo 3 boss fight in a visual novel. How many people would like that? They wouldn't, because it's a detraction from the gameplay, and it's not what they bought the game for. But unfortunately, visual novel and other niche genres are smarter than the AAA developers, and they don't pull stunts like that. You know, if a visual novel had sick combat, I'd be more likely to play one of those games, but I would not fault anybody who just wants the story to be, you know, they get thrown into a difficult boss fight with really competent combat, like, not wanting to do that. Like, I totally get it. It makes sense. But, AAA developers are way too ready to kneel down to, journalists that don't even play the games, so that's why things like that happen. It is funny, though. That's also kind of one of the problems with the 1.0 release of this. It's definitely one of the problems where they meant for the hard difficulty to test your build, but the rewards for doing it aren't good enough. They're actually pretty bad, so I think if they're ever going to patch this game, they need to fix stuff like that. Make it more worth doing the hardest difficulty, because right now it's not worth it at all. Getting the extra currency is nice, but that's basically depending on how consistently you can clear. If you're not getting to the end, you're getting a lot less drops. I really hope that this is the last one. This is a chore. It's also like it's not worth fighting anything, because they all get insta-killed. There's no point in fighting anything, because if you fight them, you miss what he's saying, because there's no voice acting. Somebody's gonna be crazy enough to do this on the hard difficulty. I think you need therapy if you want to do this on hard difficulty. It's a weirdly difficult toddler puzzle for all the wrong reasons. Normally, toddler games don't make you fight difficult beat-em-up enemies. It's like a toddler puzzle where you can get one shot. Weird flex. We don't want to alienate anybody from finishing this game, but we also let you play this on the hard difficulty for some reason, which makes it borderline impossible. One of these days I'll solve this puzzle. Is this game trying to talk down to me? These mooks have like a 1-day-old IQ or what? They can't solve this puzzle. This game's just got so much contempt for the player. What? How do they operate machinery? They can't do this? we done? Are we done with these puzzles? Please tell me. Please tell me we're done with these puzzles. Are you smarter than a third grader? That's what it's doing. Are you smarter than a third grader, beat 'em up edition? That's what this is. Maybe that's how they'll get more players. Oh, I think we're done with that. Thank goodness. That was agonizing, and for all the wrong reasons. Okay, well, where is the pylon enthusiast? It's not here. Better give me a good reward for that. I'm not seeing this guy. Where is he? It'd be nice if he would tell me where this guy is. He better have a tangible reward for doing that stupid gimmick crap. There better be a good reward. Okay, this guy is like nowhere to be found. Really gonna make me look for the guy and not just show where he is? Doing a garbage puzzle wasn't enough. Where is this guy? So I just have to randomly look for him or something? Oh, here he is. Yeah, why do you not have that on there? That's all I get for doing that? Are you kidding me? What was the point of that? Was it to say the game had more content? Well, what was the point of that? What? All he gave me was 2 aspects. What the heck? Wow. What a waste of time. I can throw this guy off, man. Get out of here, you bellhead. What was the purpose of that? It didn't even unlock anything. It's just like so they could say that they have all these quests. I'm like, there was no purpose to that whatsoever. It's like 40 minutes of nothing. He didn't even give me anything. It's very, that's something Final Fantasy 16 would do. That game had that same problem of, like, putting chests, so that they put chests around the world to make it look like exploration meant something, but then, like, 90% of them had, like, 16 gil in them. I'm not making this up, by the way. That game tried too hard to cosplay as being a big RPG, and it's basically just a character action game with very light exploration. But most of the time, outside of the DLC, the things you found in the chest were pointless. They did absolutely nothing. The very, very big FF16 energy. I want to see what the rewards for these are before I bother to do them. I wish I had looked at that. Yeah, these are not worth doing at all. Maybe if you do like all of them or something, it gives you something worthwhile, but it doesn't seem like it. Alright, do you guys want to see more of this, or you want me to move to the next game? I guess I could try making a new class or something. That might be fun. Alright, we'll do that for a bit. We'll do that for a bit. Should be less tilting. I'm hearing mixed things about the NG4 DLC and how it's not worth the price. They didn't even make a Gleam mode for Ryu's new weapon. He just uses the sword again. I like that game. That definitely is my favorite out of the whole series, but I don't know about charging for stuff like that that feels so half-finished. I don't think that's very cool. I've been on the defense course for that game for so long, but waiting that long and then like it seems like they barely put any work into it is not a good look. But I'll see for myself. I did buy it. Bought the deluxe edition when it came out. Applied for a review key for Rushing Beat. I'm going to assume that they don't have high criteria because I don't think that's the game that people are looking to buy on March 19th. I kind of doubt it. I think most people are going to be caring about Crimson Desert, so I hope that I get it. I'd like to think I meet the requirements, but you never know. These companies, they only want people with 10 trillion subs to play our niche beat 'em up, where the last installment was 32 years ago. You never know. But yeah, I sent them an email, so hopefully I get one back. Even get any rewards for doing these? Seems like... oh. The only 3 quests are left. Good track right here. If you go back and watch the beginning of this stream, you'll see some mild mauling over a puzzle that a toddler could do that's frustrating for the wrong reasons. Meaning, needing to match up symbols that like a kindergartner could do, but then also having no voice acting. So you have to pay attention to what the NPC is saying instead of fighting the enemies. And I tried to do it on the hardest difficulty. So I was getting like 2 shots while waiting for the NPC to talk, because there's no voice acting. And the reward for it was nothing, by the way. It gave me like nothing for doing it. A complete waste of time. It's more like the war on action games having puzzles for no reason. They're not even good puzzles. I didn't even get anything good for it. You want to see what I got for doing it? Nothing. Which one was it? It was like 2 aspects for doing it. I don't even understand what the purpose of these is. They don't get anything for it. I think the game's in a better spot, but the fact that you still can't pause is incredibly stupid. Because if you watched last night's stream, there was like a 40-minute boss rush that I did. The game was overheating my computer, and then also I couldn't pause. I wanted to like actually take a break. You still can't pause. I'm like, look, you gotta get over yourselves at some point, right? You want me to do a 40-minute boss rush that's already not fun because of the game just spamming ads instead of like letting you just fight the bosses by themselves. You need to let me pause. Period. No excuses. I need to be able to pause. These games gotta stop thinking that they can have our undivided attention. They have to earn it. And even if they do earn it, they still need to give us the ability to pause. If you decoupled like the multiplayer and you made it offline, then why can I not pause? Like, what is the justification? But like, personally, I will never do that again. It already wasn't fun. I mean, it was hard for the wrong reasons. It was hard for the wrong reasons. Mostly, the visual clarity was non-existent, and the ads didn't stay dead. The ads came back like the moment that you killed them, so I ended up just putting it on easy and just ignoring the ads. I'm like, well, if you're making a beat 'em up and you don't, I figure out the most optimal way to play it is to not beat things up, then I think that you failed. And that's not a fun challenge. It's artificially difficult for a number of reasons. The ads, fighting that many bosses in a row, I mean, you basically fight every boss in the game, and then also being unable to pause. Being able to play a game for 40 minutes uninterrupted is a privilege for a lot of people, so I don't know what the hell they were thinking. They need to add a pause button, bare minimum. They also need to increase the reasons to actually do the hard difficulty, because the only thing you get from it is more crafting upgrade materials. That's it. It felt like they went like halfway to making a good difficulty, because they don't increase their stats except for their attack. They don't get more health, and they actually change their attack pattern, so it's actually better than most action games where you can't even get that right. They just change their stats and they call it a harder difficulty. They went the extra mile. They changed their patterns, their move properties, more spawns and everything. That stuff is great. What's not great is the fact that you die so quickly and there's not even really a reward for doing it. If you can't clear on Brutal consistently, meaning like more than 75% of the time, it's not worth doing because the drop rate doesn't change. There are some exceptions, but they're very small. Mostly, if you level sync some maps, some of the, like, pre-made maps, not the random ones, it will have a legendary that will drop, but it's only some of them. So the difficulty feels actually really good and also half-baked at the same time. Because there's just, like, not much reason to do it. And I don't think anybody wants to do a 40-minute boss rush and get nothing for it. I just decided to do it on easy because I don't find stuff like that fun. And the combat, like, kind of doesn't work when you've got 800 hitboxes on the screen and you can barely move. And everything they're doing is putting you in a hit stun and they don't go in hit stun. It's definitely a choice. That's the nicest thing I can call it. It's a choice to do that. And I don't know why they chose to do it. I do think the game is still pretty good though. The 1.0 is a pretty significant upgrade, I'd say, but yeah, they need to do some patches, bare minimum. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think I'm done with Towerborne for tonight. I do enjoy playing it, but yeah, it's got some glaring flaws they need to work on. But considering they're at like 100 concurrent players, I don't know if that's something that will happen. Kinda seems like no. Anyway, let's finish up on here. Did I get kicked out? The heck was that? That was weird.
この後お出かけしませんか？よらば明鏡止水力が見られる
This is Aether Gazer,
花のように強く
a contrarian gacha game that's for gooners, but for people like me that just like gameplay, it's actually quite good. And being on a low income, this game is awesome because I can actually compete by being broke. I stopped playing all the popular gachas, and this is like one of my main games now. I wouldn't really call it a copycat. I wouldn't really call it that. It's different enough now. Maybe at launch. At launch, that would be more of an apt description. Not now. You definitely play this more at the endgame than PGR right now. PGR, as much as I love it, is a lot of watching cutscenes now. Well, I should change what I say. That's not entirely true. It's more like, for the modes that require you to get rewards, yeah. The combat is still good. I've seen a lot of people say the combat sucks. It's like you gotta be a little bit more mature with your analysis of it. In the modes that make the game money, yeah, 100%. You barely play it anymore. You do the rotation and everything dies, and you're invincible. But the combat is still really good. I think people have a hard time separating what a gacha game needs to do to make money, and how good the combat actually still can be, despite those limitations. And it really bothers me that people do that a lot with that game. It's always the same thing, like, you spam iframes and the enemy doesn't get to move. I'm like, well, you only have to play like that in the modes that, you know, give you the best rewards. The combat is still good. Yes, it is definitely a problem that in the modes that matter the most, you barely play it. But people aren't able to think about it in any other way other than that. That's the same thing that they say every single time. And it's like, every gacha game is like this. Every gacha game is like this. It's just a matter of how bad it is. And if it's like to the point where the game does become that, but there's things I can do that don't give me rewards that still let me enjoy the combat, I'm fine with it. I don't mind at all. But people just parrot the same criticism and don't think about it from the lens of like how generous the game is versus the fact that it's got to make money somehow. And if it didn't have those modes, it would have died years ago. It's really hard for people to understand that. They want a gacha game to be generous, and then they also want it to make no money, which is kind of an oxymoron because it has to make money somehow. And hey, the whales spend thousands to compete. More power to them, man. They spend more money than I can. But, I don't know. It's strange. know why people are shocked that an endgame mode in a gacha game is like pay to win and the gameplay kind of devolves over time. I mean, that's how they all are. I have fun playing that game with Dante and Virgil in the side modes. I have a blast. I definitely don't like that, you know, the main mode, you don't really do much anymore, but hey, it's how the game makes money. Standards for gacha games are really weird. A game like this will come out and they complain it's too easy. It's like, well, if they make it too hard, it's just going to be like every other action gacha, where skill is secondary to spending money. Some people are like, the game's too casual. I'm like, cool, I enjoy playing it, it's fun. And I don't need to spend like my life savings or like a down payment on a car to enjoy the game. I'm cool with that. If I want a challenge, I'll go play like Neo or something. I don't need these games to make me sweat. Because even if it does, the reality is, well, if I just spent a couple grand, then there would be no more challenge. Just back to square one. Kind of think it's not really legitimate criticism after a while. It's just kind of just people looking for something to hate about a gacha game. Like, this one treats you better than the big ones. It's got its faults for sure. They actually did make the endgame harder in this patch, so I'm not sure how much weight the usual complaint of the game being too easy really holds up anymore. You actually are expected to have like a fully built team and actually play, and that's not how it was before. But this is a problem with pretty much every game at this point. People will complain incessantly about something in a game, and then when they fix it, they're nowhere to be found. They dip. It's like, well, you should update your criticism and actually come back and play the game. They fix the problem, but people will still push that narrative. It's really weird. This game is not perfect, but I don't feel like I waste my time and money on it, so I'm good with that. I mean, when this game launched, the problem with this game was mostly it was worse PGR. It definitely was that at launch, and I don't think anybody would be able to tell you that it wasn't. It's just the movesets are really poor. They were very small, and you just repeated a rotation, but it took a lot less skill than PGR. PGR rotations take skill. Yeah, you are invincible most of the time. I don't think anybody's going to deny that you're not. But it does take skill. The rotations in this game took 0 skill. And you had a long, like, 10-second cooldown before you could do it again. So the fact that you couldn't switch characters really held the game back. But in my opinion, it's actually become one of its biggest strengths. Because one of the problems with PGR is the power creep. Some characters, you know, putting them out on the field is a detriment. It makes your points worse, so all you do is you tag them in and do like one attack and then switch out. And I don't think that's very interesting either. So the way that this game does it, it's like you play the character you actually want, and then everybody else just buffs them. And there are some pros and cons to that. In terms of endgame content, you definitely are not watching animations as much as PGR, current PGR. They have improved the movesets tremendously. To the point where the fact that you only play as one person doesn't feel like such a downgrade anymore. I think that that's enough if you ask me. Well, the problem with gacha game stories is they don't finish. Gacha game stories don't finish, though. They either go on forever or they end abruptly. So, I don't know. I don't really think this is the best medium for storytelling. The Genshin Impact story is going to go on until the end of time at this point, but then, like, something like this can just shut down instantly. That's why I just skip all of it. It's not worth my time. It's hard for people to really grasp that, though. There's, like, two logical outcomes for a story. It either goes on forever, or it ends because they're not making money. See, we got anybody good in here this month? No, not really. I guess I'll go for Jinwoo. Yeah, but the story won't finish, though. And apparently the CN crowd hates the story direction. Hey, nice. Cool, cool. PGR has plot armor at this point. It won't shut down because Wuthering Waves makes infinite amounts of money every month. I'm not a Wuthering Waves player, but yeah, nothing's gonna happen to PGR. They may run the story into the ground, which, as I've heard, has been a very common complaint, but it won't shut down. I'm pretty sure anything they do with this game is like 1,000 times cheaper than one update on, Wuthering. Like, fully voice-acted cutscenes. And, like, motion capture. And having to make a big world, like, twice a year. But this game costs nothing to run. They're spending nothing, essentially nothing on this game. Speaking of which, I need to buy my battle pass, so give me a moment here. It'd be nice if this Coda shop would give me the damn code. It's not giving me the code. Hello? Send me the code, please. Why do I even need to verify? I've bought off here like 30 times. Should not even need to verify. Let me give you money. Or just don't send the code. Shit doesn't work. Stupid. You're gonna make me verify every single time I'm on here, then make the code actually work. Because I'm about to just close this game and play something else. Trying to spend money on the game, it's not letting me. Cool, just don't send the code. Broken website. So stupid. We don't want your money. Why do I need to verify? I've verified like 800 times. Garbage-ass website. Get your shit together. You want people to spend money? Then fix your site. It's that simple. Fix the damn site. Ugh. Send me the stupid code. It's like these sites never remember that you're logged in. Keeps asking over and over and over. Well, great, their site doesn't work. I think if you're trying to get people to donate to your site for a service, that you would actually make the site work. But it doesn't work. Fucking thing doesn't send. You should only have to do this like once. I hate this shit. You tell a site to sign in. Tell a site to sign in. And I tell it keep me signed in, and then you come back the next day. Oh, I don't remember you. Can you log in again? And then you have to verify like 4 times. I'm like, then what was the point of asking me? Yeah, this shit's not sending the damn code. I'm about to give up on this shit. This is stupid. Fix your broken site. Stop making me verify. Verify like 300 times to give them money. How about not making this difficult? I just had to use PayPal. Really takes me back to when they put out like a new Assassin's Creed, and they would have like a literal spreadsheet telling you which store has the right pre-order bonus. I'm like, do you want people to buy this video game, or do you want them to sit there and stare at a spreadsheet to the point where they don't want the game anymore? Because that's the kind of impression I get from stuff like that. You know, needing a verification to buy something is actually good for security, but it's useless if it doesn't work. You can't get much more secure than the verification text not even coming to your phone. That's like as secure as it gets, right? You can't even get the code. It's like, which one is it? I don't need it to be that secure. I'm cool with having to verify, but it should actually work. I should not sit there like 10 times and try. Like, what is going on, man? I used to look at those, I used to look at those screenshots of those spreadsheets, and there were like 10 different stores you could buy the game, and they each had a different bonus. Like, this looks like paying your bills or something, or like doing a homework assignment, not buying a video game. Why is this so complicated? You don't want people to think about spending money on a game, right? You want it to be like instant, because then they're gonna realize they don't need it. But I guess that's dying. Can't believe how many times I had to get the thing to verify. No, it's a problem with AAA games as well. They don't do those crazy pre-order bonuses anymore. But the games barely work at launch, even if you have a very good computer, or like a PS5 Pro, like the best stuff. The games still don't work, and they wonder why people wait for sales. I'm like, well, games don't work at launch anymore. They haven't for several years now. Look at Borderlands 4. Like, nobody could play that game at launch. And then they'll complain that, oh, you guys aren't interested in this anymore. It's like, no, you don't make a good product that actually functions. And you complain that people aren't buying it at launch. It's like, well, it's not functional. You have like a 5090 and like a 14900K and a Gen 4 NVMe. You shouldn't have to think about these things, right? But that's the case, though. Oh, CN government. As much as they try to clap back, I'm sure somebody there has intelligence and realizes that these games are a big part of the money that they make. It's like a whole new industry that they've taken over, right? Already, like, most things we get a lot of exports from them, right? Almost everything that we wear and use. But, you know, everybody else has tried to get into the gacha market, and they've ruined it for one reason or another. China's really the only one that's putting out ones that have any kind of success. So, I don't know how much they can really clap back. It feels like they want to have some control over it, but I'm sure they also realize it's like Cyberpunk, right? Like, CD Projekt is like a huge chunk of Poland's income at this point. So, how much can you really get mad at them if they release a broken game when it's making that much money for their country? It's very much the same thing here. They want to exact control. They want to enact control, but the reality is, the stuff makes too much money. That's why, like, the government didn't, like, shut down CD Projekt. You want to know why they didn't do that? Because Cyberpunk made them so much money. I have a crazy amount of money. Game still made tons of money even though it barely worked at launch.
この戦いグレーレーブンが先導します。豪華の果てを見せてあげる。逃がせないわよ。隠れる気。まだまだここからよ。笑える。年功開発。あなたの最高の痛みよ。集え暁の光。翼よ羽ばたけ。行け。紅のように咲きよきよ。集中攻撃。彼方まで越え行け。死は恐れない。
China doesn't have any competition with gachas right now. Japan and Korea have tried, but they haven't had anything that stuck. Ironically, those games would probably be a lot less predatory, but none of them have stuck. There's been a couple Korean ones that have been out recently, and they don't seem to be very good. They actually seem more predatory than the CN ones somehow. Which is pretty nuts. Is that what Astra Knights of Veda? That like Odin Spear clone? That's worse. Like Dragon's Crown, but worse. That game looked good, but then I heard that like the rates were really bad, and the combat is like one move. I never even bothered installing that one. How many have I played? Actually, not many. Are you talking about seriously or like tried? Ones I played seriously is this, ESO 2 if you count that, Honkai Impact 3rd for like a year or two. I did Zenless for a while, but I rage quit that game because I got tired of the monetization, the shit character design. Wuthering Waves I played on and off, but I uninstalled that game too. The only two I'm playing right now is this and Aether Gazer. I don't really want to play any more gachas. And the ones coming out right now don't interest me, because they're all open world. I just don't have time to run a channel focused on single player games and then also juggle like 6 gachas. So I uninstalled most of them. I'm like not going to be playing them anymore unless there's like some kind of reason to come back. The less gachas I play, the better. I can't afford to be competitive in them, and then all of them are just Genshin clones now. They just take infinite time to play, and like even if I don't spend money, the amount of time it takes to do anything in them is just way too much. Because I'm not a gacha channel at all. I am not a gacha channel. I play them, but it is not what people come here to watch. So I try to keep it very under control, where I don't play like 8 of them. There are a lot of people who do that now, and they don't have time to play anything else. And I've been around long enough. I mean, like, I played some of the first service games that were ever out there. I played like Castle Infinity, Ragnarok Online, old school DFO. Like, all those games predate gachas. So I've been around a long time, and I know that when you start juggling, like, 4 or 5 of those games, you have no time to play anything else. So, I never wanted it to get to that point, and I'm glad that I didn't. I see people play like 6 gachas. It's like, when do you have time to play anything else? You probably don't. That's not factoring in how much money they may be spending as well. You know, with my limited income, I can afford to be competitive in PGR and Aether Gazer, and then also they take like very little time, so you know I can still play like mainstream or not mainstream, but like single player games all the time, and that's what people want to see. Yeah, but I actually have not played that many gachas. The ones that I've played considerably for like more than a year, uh, KOF All Star, PGR Aether Gazer, Honkai Impact around the time that it launched. Uh, Peak of Combat 1.0 was a big one. I was one of the biggest content creators for that. Uh, Other than that, no. There were a lot that I played for like a short time, but I dropped them because I wasn't liking them, and then most of those games died off very quick anyway. So nothing gained, nothing lost there. Yeah, these games are all they're all competing for our time. Time is our most valuable resource, right? We don't. None of us have infinite time. I don't play anything on console unless it's on Switch 2. The only modern console I have is a Switch 2. I don't have a PS5. I don't have an Xbox. I don't game on mobile anymore. I really only game on PC and Steam Deck and Switch 2. That's it. Whaling in 6 gachas is very uncommon. Most whales will do it on like 2 games at most, but you can definitely play 6 gachas for free and like not spend barely any money. Maybe like a battle pass or like monthly card at most, and still have no time to play anything. You can definitely do that. It's not hard. And I kind of realized very early on that there was a very real chance of that happening. KOF All Star, I really enjoyed, but that game was Power Creep City. It devolved into an insane amount of power creep, and I knew when to pull out. I really wanted that game to stick around, but they killed that game. They killed that game very very quickly. The power creep got so bad, and the rewards were terrible. They added a lot of characters I really liked, but the gameplay was non-existent. So yeah, I pulled out. I played that game considerably for a very long time, and then I stopped like about 2 years before they shut down. I just quit cold turkey. I did invest a lot in that game. I did have fun playing it for a while, but then it just got to the point where I wasn't enjoying it anymore, so I uninstalled it. There's like no gacha right now that I have even a remote interest in, outside of Limit Zero Breakers. Limit Zero Breakers actually looks pretty cool, and I don't think that one is instanced. That's like the only one that I have any interest in right now. Because all the other ones are open world. All of them are open world, like every single one. I'm like, dude, when are these companies gonna realize, like, dude, these games just take too much time to play? Like, you can really knock it out of the park and have, like, a really good 1.0, and then, like, people just aren't gonna want to play it because they're already playing 3 more. So, yeah, my interest in gachas has, like, completely evaporated at this point. I don't know when Limit Zero Breakers is supposed to be coming out. I'm waiting for the beta. I am interested in playing that game, because I think it's actually back to instanced and not walking around in a big open world. But I don't know when the beta comes out. That's the only other one I have even a modicum of interest in. The rest, no, not at all. I am not playing an open world gacha. I don't care how good the combat is. Oh. We'll see what happens with this next batch. They managed to get an audience.
Nanda. 見つけたぞ。
Anata, yeah. The DLC for this has, like, barely anything, so, probably not. Probably not ever. The rate they're going, no. Aide is like in like one cutscene in this game. She's in like one cutscene and doesn't do anything. But given how much they did Ryu dirty, is it really a bad thing that she's not playable? It would just be like Rachel in 2 Black, where she has like 3 moves, and no one likes playing as her to the point where people want to remove her from the game. So, I don't know how much that request holds weight. This DLC has barely anything in it. It is very bare bones. And the fact that it took like 6 months to come out and they're charging for it is not helping. There are definitely games that have done free updates with more content than this. But I mean, Microsoft seems to be giving up on gaming, so it's very obvious this game was impacted, and I think they expected it to sell way more than it did. And I don't know how badly this sold. I've heard conflicting reports on its sales, but this is definitely one of those games where the people that make the sales expectations for it are delusional. A game like this is not going to sell several million copies. Prior to last year, Ninja Gaiden was effectively dead. There was nothing going on with this IP. Before this, it was the Master Collection, which was good, yes. It's awesome that we got them, especially on PC. But you can't expect something to come back after like almost 15 years of nothing and sell like crazy. And that definitely feels like what happened to this game. It doesn't help that so many people that grew up with the old ones hated this game from the start and started a hate mob. And like on one hand, if you don't like the game, that's fine, but don't create so much negative content when people are looking for your opinion. It's like, look, you may not like the game, you don't have to like the game, but don't make so much negative stuff about it, because that's going to make people not want to buy it. They're going to look for the opinions of people that have played these games before, right? They're not going to care what a journalist thinks. But then, like, a lot of them were just hating on the game constantly before they even played it. So, that didn't help either. It's kind of like the High Guard situation. You can't blame it on those people. It's a number of factors, right? High Guard was basically, you know, they didn't listen to the people that were actually making the game, and they expected way too much of it. And, you know, they had people try the game, but nobody wanted to stick around. Did the hate mob cause that? No. It didn't cause it. Because they still got 6 digits of players to try it. That's more than a lot of service games. But, they were all gone after the first week. But yeah, Ninja Gaiden 4 definitely had a lot of those problems as well. It's just people of high authority in the community shitting on it constantly and not even playing it. And, you know, not even wanting to acknowledge that the game has good qualities, despite its faults. And, you know, that kind of stuff does have an effect. But I think more of the issue is the fact that the franchise has been dead for so long, and there's been nothing going on with it. And they built up to this game very well, with Ragebound and 2 Black. I think that they built up to this game very well, but I guess it just didn't make what they wanted. But you never know. What were their expectations, though? What were their expectations? Did they have realistic expectations, or were they expecting this to move like DMC5 numbers? You gotta remember, DMC5, as good of a game as that is, was dirt cheap extremely quickly. Like within a year, right? You could get that game with Virgil for like 20 bucks. So is it a fair comparison? In some ways it is. It is the same type of game, but that game went dirt cheap way quicker than this did. And then also, people were more excited about it. And there was less of a gap between releases. You gotta remember, from 2008 to 2019, there were still a number of releases, right? There was the remake and 4 special edition. So the franchise was way more active than this was in that same time frame. Ninja Gaiden 3 was 2011 and sucked, and everybody hated it, and it is objectively worse than DMC4 in every way. Razor's Edge comes out and it's Wii U exclusive for like a year, so nobody played it. And then it didn't help that like they did fix a lot of the problems, but you know it alienated everybody who bought the original version, because the original version had nothing. There were no weapons or anything. Everybody hated the story as well. There was no content. They tried to fix as much as they could, but people just aren't really excited to buy the same game again when it's like you should have made it like this in the first place. It wasn't even a thing of like listening to feedback. It's like no one liked the game at all. It had nothing. It was worse than 2 in every way. So when you consider that was the last mainline installment, how high can your expectations be for this? DMC4 has its faults, yes, it does. It is not a perfect game. Its flaws are well documented. I don't even need to say them. Is it a better game than Ninja Gaiden 3? Yes. Vanilla? 100%. DMC4 is devoid of content as well. Is it as devoid of content as Ninja Gaiden 3 Vanilla is? No, not at all. It has way more stuff. The reboot as well. Actually, there were like multiple games between 4 and 5, right? There was the reboot, and then there was Definitive Edition for that, and then there was 4 Special Edition. In that time frame, Ninja Gaiden had nothing. So, I don't know. I'm not sure how much the sales even really matter, though, because they had this on Game Pass, and this game was published by Microsoft, so effectively, they footed the bill for this game. But you never know with these companies, man. They'll make a niche game in a niche genre like this, and they expect it to move like 10 million copies. I'm like, come on, man. You don't need to be a business major to realize, like, look, that is not going to happen. You need to keep your expectations in check. If you're expecting something like this to move 10 million copies, it's not going to happen. Maybe if you make it like 80% off, and you basically give it away, maybe, but then like how much money are you making per sale? Like nothing. DMC5 as well, people, Capcom themselves glazes how much that game sold. Did it sell a lot? Yes, it did. It definitely did. How much of those are at launch though? How much of those are at launch? I can go buy that game with the DLC and everything for like 10 bucks. Like, they're making like $7 off that sale. So, I don't know. I don't know how much there is to that, but it's a very common problem. This was the same thing when the Tomb Raider reboot came out. They said that they needed to sell like 3 million copies to break even, and it's like, look, at the time, there were no Tomb Raider games besides that like Xbox Live Arcade one for like 10 years. How many people are gonna buy it? Like, you don't do anything with the franchise for a decade, and you randomly come back, and then like, because their expectations are so high, it can still sell like millions of copies, and they still want, it's not enough for them. Look, when I play gachas, I'm gonna self-insert myself into this comparison, right? When I play PGR and I put up a video, I don't expect people to watch, right? Because it's not what people are here for. They're here for stuff like this. Now, if I put out good content for this, I could definitely have higher expectations, because this is what people are here for. But if I put up a video of me doing PGR Warzone or Aether Gazer, I don't expect any views. But the people that make these expectations for these niche games like this are, they're delulu. They really are. I don't know how much you can really expect. It's crazy. There's also instances where the game does well and they don't do anything with it, like Bayonetta 3 was a good example. That game moved a lot of copies, and that game has never once been like dirt cheap. A lot of those sales were like max price, right? They did nothing with it. No expansion, no DLC. They did like one patch. They didn't even make a Switch 2 version. So it goes both ways. It's like a character action game will sell millions of copies and they don't do anything with it. That was Bayonetta 3. Bayonetta 3 desperately needed a mode that you can play like what this game has where you can just fight. And all the gimmicks and mini-games are not there. They didn't even add that. And that's why that game's high-level community died so quick. Because the campaign is torture to play. So, it goes both ways, really. It's not really a black and white thing. There's been a number of character action games that have done really well, and they don't get, like, any DLC. Astral Chain is another good example. Astral Chain sold extremely well, and it didn't get, like, any DLC. It barely got any patches. They still don't have a Switch 2 version for it, which it desperately needs. Just nothing.
匂うな竜の一族とカラスか秩序なき人間界は私精霊によってコントに包まれる虫けらどもせいぜいあなたがよい
Yeah, so I can get one shot and make it take like 20 seconds to load. Hard pass, man. I pretty much always play games on this at launch. I decide if the game has actual good difficulty. One of the things I didn't like about this game was the difficulty was fair, but every time you died it took like a minute to get back in, and that really got on my nerves. Can always do it on hard later, I just want to play and get stuff.
Point に到達そのまま先へ進んで辺りに異常はない。
ああ、問題ない。海、ここら一帯の魔人は全て殺した。
了解。引き続き警戒して。しかしなんでまだこんなに魔人が減るどころか増えているような気がする。
高位の魔人か。
Well, the expectations for this were probably higher because they built up to this game with 2 other releases, right?
カラスの一族
気に入った
But who knows what numbers they were
本
expecting.
命のとこや魔人の巣窟
誰だ？
いずれわかる
I feel like this,
何があったの？
海。
but you can switch the weapons, but there's only like 2 of them. It's kind of weird. Are you gonna make more?
海は近くで何か異変があるかもしれない。
分かった。この先に竜神島の基地もあるみたいだから警戒して。
了解。
How many weapons you can carry? You can carry 8,
よく来た
but there's not 8 weapons.
任務達成やるわね。任務完了ね。お疲れ様。うまく役立ててね。また来てちょうだい。
Level design is very much improved. Having a lot less auto-scrollers is nice. And then they also just straight up added a bloody palace, which is awesome too. So, I'm quite happy with this so far, but it doesn't feel like anything in here could not have been a free update, I think. People are in the right to be pissed off. You take like 6 months. Am I stuck? Oh. he's having a hard time. You okay there, buddy? There we go.
お疲れ様。また来てちょうだい。
What? It was a just dodge. Oh well. I haven't played this in a long time. Oh yeah, how quickly can you skip this now? Oh wow, you can actually get back in a lot faster. That's awesome. That's much better than it was before. Oh wow, that's so much better! What? Now this game is not frustrating anymore. Wow. It still takes forever to load, but at least you can skip for asking if you're okay. Like, no, he's dead, man. He's not okay. Can you tell? He's not doing too great. He's being piloted by somebody that hasn't played the game in like months. He's not doing great, alright? You don't need to ask him. That's an awesome change. Yeah, look at that. You can skip it instantly. The load times still suck, but that's a huge upgrade. That's so much better than before. Getting good at this game took a crazy amount of patience. There isn't really too much unfair stuff in this game. I'm dying because it's my fault, but having it take like 40 seconds to get back in after you died made this game immensely frustrating. And it was like more frustrating than the game itself, which is kind of stupid when you think about it. A game like this, the frustration should come from like the enemies and knowing you're not performing very well. Not, I died and it takes like a full minute to get back in. So that's a big change. No, it's not brutal. I didn't play this game as much as others, but I could definitely tell I'll play it more now that it doesn't take so long to recover from a mistake. That was the biggest complaint everybody had about this game. People that actually tried it and liked it all said the same thing. It takes way too long to come back. You can't really have a game that's difficult by nature and then have it take so long to respawn. It just doesn't work. This is a huge improvement. Like, hey, if I die, it's my fault, but if I get frustrated because I lose and it takes so long to get back in, that is not my fault. That's the game's fault. There's been a non-zero other amount of difficult games like this that have had that problem, where they want you to actually try and like learn the patterns and not die, but then like it takes so long to get back in, you get frustrated. This is why, like, Neo is well-designed difficulty, even despite all the bullshit, because you respawn instantly. That's what this game did not have. It took a fiscal year to respawn. I don't want to use any items. I need to get back into learning how to play the game again, so no items, at least for now. If the next boss feels shitty, then yeah, I will. This boss isn't bad. There we go. No, the DLC seems pretty easy. You can't fault the game for my poor ability. But I think they fixed the main problem, which was making it not take so long to respawn. Is a huge upgrade. I might actually want to play this on the harder difficulty now. I don't find getting one shot and getting stuck in a loop of the game loading to be fun. I don't find those kinds of challenges fun. If I die and it's my fault, I'm totally cool with that. What I am not cool with is I spend more time loading than playing. So that is a really big change. You can get back into the action a lot quicker now. There's been numerous games that have been ruined by stuff like that.
海、
通信が回復した。ヤクモ、何があったの？
わからない。どうやら魔人の親玉が作った住処に飛ばされているみたいだ。
で、ここはどこ？どんどん下ってるみたいだけど。
奴にどこかへ。
また来てちょうだい。
奴にどこかへ連れて行かれているようだ。海、このまま先へ進む。奴がこの魔人の元凶なので必死です。
Smash Brothers double KO right there. It's Donkey Kong grabbing you and taking you off, and he has one more stock than you, so he wins. That's what that was right there. Not very stylish, but still funny. I'll take it. I haven't played this in months. The sweat can come later.
お疲れ様。また来てちょうだい。この先
That should be the end of this chapter.
降りるしかない。行くぞ。
Probably the end of the stream. I'm getting pretty hungry.
Kita カラスの一族。
魔人を送り込んでいるのはお前だ。
そうだ。いい景色になってきただろう。
ならば容赦はしない。
Oh, this game is great. Is the DLC great though? So far, not really. not for the asking price and the long waits. I think people were expecting a lot more, and it did deliver. But I am liking the level design though. It's kind of just straightforward. I'm liking that. I don't know where these new accessories are, though. That's kind of what I'm looking for. I haven't found any yet. Well, it doesn't take a fiscal year to come back from dying now, so, now's a good time to jump in. Because, I'm not gonna lie, that was the main reason why I stopped playing this. The hard difficulty in this was this weird mix of feeling more fair than other ones, but then every time you died, you had to wait like a full minute. It felt very disjointed, but now it's considerably shorter. Gave you one new weapon, man. You better make use of it. You're not getting another one. Yakumo's got 6 weapons now. He's only got 2. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. I'm getting pretty hungry. I gotta learn this weapon anyway. So it's got like a Devil Bringer type thing. Where the heck are these accessories? I'm not seeing any of these new accessories that they advertised. Alright, well that's gonna do it for now. I am going to take a break. I might actually come back and play some more, but yeah, thanks for watching. We'll finish up the DLC next stream. I'll be back, if not later tonight, then probably in the morning.